Yes, someone can hear me. A few people, lots of people can hear me. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. Fantastic. Okay, great. A lot of you here. Nice to see you too. Hello from Turkey. Okay, so without any further ado, let me jump straight into this. So hello, first of all, and welcome to the first GuruShots webinar. My name is Tom Bourdon. You've probably seen my face on the GuruShots platform, but here you can actually see that I'm a real life talking human being as well. Okay, so that's good. I'm a professional photographer, originally from the UK, although I'm currently traveling through Europe, and today I'm in northern Italy, just outside Venice. Okay, can you do me a favor? Now I've introduced myself, in the chat, which it seems lots of you have found on the right, can you just let us know, where are you coming from today? South Africa, Ernest, Matteo, Italy. Okay, okay. Ooh, I can't say hi to you all, but lots of people from lots of different places all over the world. That's fantastic. Hi from Netherlands, Estonia, Lisbon, Paris. This is great. Romania, I think we've got pretty much every country in the world covered there. Okay, great. As I say, so good to have so many of you here today. From India as well. Hi. From Spain. Hola, ¿qué tal? Okay, so as I said, this is the first webinar we've done at GuruShots, but it's something we plan to do on a regular basis. Okay, essentially to help you take better photos. Okay, this was one of the key ideas of GuruShots when it was set up. We wanted to create a platform that was, yes, fun, but also educational. Okay, something that would help you. So this webinar series are basically a part of that package. Today I'm going to be looking at a new piece of software that's going to change the way I work. Hello from Israel. It's going to change the way I work, and I think it's going to change the way a lot of photographers work. The software is called Luminar, okay, from a company called Skylum, Luminar 2018. Okay, today I'm just going to give you a quick overview to point out one or two key features. The one I particularly want to show you is something called an artificial intelligence filter. Okay, as far as I'm aware, Luminar is the only software that has an artificial intelligence filter. So we're going to be having a bit of a look at that today because it's kind of exciting. But before, can I just get you to answer this quick question? Okay, let us know, what software do you use to edit your photos? Okay, Photoshop, Lightroom, a few Skylum users already. A few of you on Luminar, great. Good to have you here. Lightroom, Photoshop, GIMP. Wow, good. Okay, okay, a nice mix. And one of you don't edit your photos at all. Okay, good, 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 good. So let me jump into Lightroom and just share my screen with you now. Okay, so you should now be able to see my screen. And when you open up Luminar, this is what you see. Okay, at the top here, you have the menu, standard menu items that you probably get with most software. And if you're new to Luminar, or perhaps new to processing photos in general, have a look in the help section under the video tutorials. Okay, there's lots of helpful videos there, from basic stuff to some really quite advanced techniques to do with blending and layers and all sorts. Have a look at that. It's worth checking out. Okay, obviously here we have the photo. This is a completely unprocessed photo, or as unprocessed as it can be. Over here we have, let me just close the histogram and the layers. We will not need them today. Over here on the right, we have the settings that have been applied to this photo. Okay, as you can see at the moment, it's quite bare. There's no settings being applied. So the first thing I want to show you is the presets. So if I just click here, and then along the bottom we get some presets. Okay, and I can click on one of these, and basically it's a great starting point if you're not sure what you want your final photo to look like. Okay, for example, let me click Image Enhancer. Okay, all of a sudden you see some adjustments have been made to the photo, and here on the right you can see specifically which adjustments have been made. You can see here exposure has been increased by 0.3, contrast has been boosted, highlight reduced, and a few other settings. Okay, now these settings will be applied to using this preset. These settings will be applied to any photo. Okay, there's no intelligent thinking or anything clever going on here. Just applying these settings to this image. Okay, now I can adjust each one of these settings specifically if I want to make finer details, just to tune in and get a look I'm happy with, or I can come down the bottom and I can reduce all of these settings with one master slider. Okay, this is something missing from Lightroom, but here in Luminar you can adjust all of these settings with just one master slider, just to tone it down a little bit. If I decide I don't like this look, I can choose another preset. The settings will be updated, and I have a different looking image. Okay. One of the great things about Luminar is you can go back in history. You can go all the way back. Okay. You always have that option. If you realize you've messed up and you want to go back a few steps, you can simply do that just by clicking here. Okay. This isn't what we came here for, though. Let me close this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to Custom Workspace. I'm going to clear my workspace, which, as you see, removes all of the settings. And I'm going to add a filter. All of these are filters, with each one has different settings. Okay, we just saw a few now earlier, but the one I want to show you is this Accent AI filter. Okay, let me click here. So I've added that filter. Let me close the log. Now you'll notice in Accent AI, there's only one slider. Now, at first, you might think that's a little bit limiting. Okay, you know, what can you do with one slider? But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go from 0 all the way up to 100. Here we go. Okay, wow. Did you see that? Do you see the change? Let me show you the before. So this is the before. Notice how the colors are all very flat. It's a bit murky, a bit gray, a bit blah. After, the image just totally comes to light. The contrast has been boosted, the sharpness has been boosted, saturation has been increased as well. But this has been done in an artificially intelligent way. Okay, what does that mean? Well, according to Skylum, and you know, I've got no reason not to believe them, but this software can detect areas of grass, okay, and it knows how to process grass. For example, with grass, you want to increase the dynamic range, boost the saturation, sharpen it up a little bit, and it applies those settings just to the grass. Okay. Other things it can recognize the sky. Okay, I don't think it has recognized the sky in this photo, but probably because it's so overexposed. But it can also recognize sky, it can recognize trees, and also skin tones. Okay, apparently there's 12 or 14 different elements that Luminar can recognize. I think it's a bit of a secret what those elements are. But yeah, it can then apply those sets directly to specific areas in the photo. Okay, for me, this is a little bit strong, so I can pull the boost down a small amount. And somewhere there, about 77. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Excuse me. Then what I can do is I can come up to the top right, and I can click this button here, and I can export the image. Okay, I'm sure most of you already know that photos or any images for the internet should be in a JPEG format. Okay, what you might not know is the color space. Okay, for photos that are going to appear in a web browser, make sure your color space is set to sRGB. Okay, this will give you much nicer colors than any of the other options available. Okay, if you want for print, it might be something different, but anything for a web browser, use sRGB. Also, I recommend quality, always keep it to the maximum. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to jump over to another photo. This one. Okay, so this one was shot a couple of months ago here in Italy, actually. Fishermen on the beach. And again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight to the artificial intelligence filter. So here, add filter and accent AI. Again, close the filters catalog. Here we go, from 0 to 100. There you go. Wow. Did you see that? Particularly look at the sky. Let me show you the before and the after. So what Luminar's done here is cleverly, it's recognized the sky and it's reduced the exposure, because generally skies in photography are overexposed. So it's reduced exposure. It looks like it's also boosted the contrast and added some areas of blue as well, which is quite nice. Notice how it's only added those blue areas to the sky. There's no other random bits of blue, so it's picked that up nicely. What else has it done to this photo? Let's have a look at the before. This is the before. This is the after. Okay, yeah, this foreground, much brighter. The exposure has been increased. And also there's been a boost across the scene of saturation. Let's look at that again. Before and after, big boost. Again, this at 100% is probably too strong. Well, it is definitely too strong for personal taste. I would bring that down somewhere there. 75, again, about 75 seems to be where I kind of like it. You might have your own preferences, but for me, 75 seems to be about where I like it. And let's have a look once more at the before and the after. With just one slider, we've made some real great improvements there. Okay, let me move on to one last image. A few of you saying the screen is blank. Can you see? Can some of you see? You can see. Okay, you can still see. Okay, good. Okay, everyone can see. Not everyone, but most of you I can see. Okay, so last image. This is shot just my hometown back in England on the south coast. And when the weather's nice, as you can see, it's absolutely glorious. Okay, let me again jump straight to this artificial intelligence filter, because I do love what it does. With one slider, I'm amazed by this. Just one slider, and it picks out the correct elements and makes the right adjustments. So let's see what it can do. Here we go, from 0, oops, to 100. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Okay, once more, before and after. Before, after. Okay, in the before photo, have a look, particularly the grass areas in the foreground. Notice how they're a bit grey, a bit flat, a bit dull. After, bright, vibrant green grass. That's because Luminar's recognized this as being an area of grass, and it's applied what it thinks are the right settings. And in my mind, it's done a pretty good job. It looks much more like the grass I want to be photographing than this. Okay, it's also saturated the sky. Perhaps it's gone a little bit too far with the sky, but we can look at reducing the saturation in that. Also, it looks like it's increased the contrast in the sky. The cloud now seems to pop out a lot more than it did before. Let's have a look again at the before and the after. Okay, yeah, so it's nice to get a little bit more detail in the sky there. So let's look at reducing the saturation in the sky in these blues. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we can do this. You might think, first of all, you want to come to the section slider and pull that down. It does reduce the skies and the blues in the sky, but it also reduces those nice greens we had in the grass. So I'm not going to use that one. Delete that. I'm going to add something a bit more advanced. Okay, this one's called HSL. Okay, hue, saturation, and luminance. Okay, so for each color, I can adjust the hue, the saturation, and the luminance. Luminance is just a fancy word for brightness. Okay, So as you can see here, I can change any of the colors from being bright white through the color range to a very dark black. Okay, saturation was what we were looking at, and it was the saturation of the blue. Okay, so let me just pull down the blue slider, and you'll notice only the blues, only the saturation in the blues is being removed, and now it's completely gone. Obviously, this is way too far, but somewhere perhaps around there, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. You know, when it was here, it's a bit too ghastly and unrealistic for my taste. So I like to bring it down, perhaps somewhere around there. Okay. Also, the hue. Sometimes this works well with sky. You can slightly adjust the hue just to get a nicer tone. That's probably a bit better. In fact, I might be able to increase the saturation a little bit more. There you go, something like that. Okay, one last thing I want to show you in here. Let me add a filter. It's the vignette. I do this to almost all my photos. Almost all my photos have a vignette, although you might not realize just by looking at them. Okay, because I like my vignettes to be very soft, very subtle, and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I add a vignette. Okay, first of all, what is a vignette? This vignette, essentially, it's the darkening of the edges, particularly the corners, of your photo, which has the effect of drawing the viewer's eye into the frame. Okay, obviously this is way too strong, but this is my starting point. Next, with the size slider, I move that to the left as well. Okay, roundness, I move that all the way to the right because our lenses are round, so a natural vignette should be round as well. And feather, I move that to the right as well because I want a nice soft vignette. Okay, if I go the other way, I end up with something quite ghastly. So that should be avoided. Nice soft vignettes is what we want. Now what I do, with the size slider, I drag this to the right, making sure that the important elements in my photo are not affected too much by this vignette. So here, obviously, the cliffs and the cottage in the foreground are the important elements. So I'm just going to pull that down there. And the amount slider, okay, this is where the magic happens. What I do with this is looking only at the photo. I click, and I'm not looking at the slider, I'm looking at the photo, and I'm dragging to the right. Keep dragging to the right until I can no longer see my vignette. Okay, might sound counterproductive, but stick with me. Okay, I think somewhere there, okay, the vignette has, apparently, it looks like it's disappeared, but it hasn't. If we look back here, 49, minus 49, okay? And let's see the before without the vignette. This is without the vignette, and this is with the vignette. It's quite a subtle effect, which is what I wanted, but it does have quite a big difference to the final image. And it's something I like to do just as a finishing touch to almost all my photos, as I say. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to show you in Luminar. What I want to show you now is this. Okay, we have a special offer. You can get a $10 discount from Luminar if you purchase it now. The standard price, I think, is $69. So with this $10 discount, it's down to $59, which for the things Luminar does, it's a bit of a bargain. Okay, all you need to do is to get that discount is use the coupon code GuruShots. There's a link just here. You can click on that now. If you're not yet convinced, go ahead. You can click on this link anyway and download a trial version. It's a trial. It's a full completed version, but you only get it for 30 days. Okay. I've just noticed a question. Does Luminar have a catalog? This is a very big question. At present, Luminar does not have a catalog feature. It is something they are working on, and I've seen a preview of it, and I've been told it should be with us within the next 6 months. Okay, and my understanding is that it's going to be very fast. It's going to be faster than, the idea is that it will be much faster than Lightroom, and it will also be intelligent. Okay, what that means, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to be a lot more advanced than what Lightroom or Adobe Bridge offers. Masks and brushes. Yes, there are masks, there are brushes, there are cloning tools, there are all those things. There are layers, different blending modes. There's lots of advanced stuff you can do with Luminar as well. It's kind of the way I see Luminar at the moment is it's almost like a photographer's version of Photoshop. I'm sure many of us, all of us, have opened up Photoshop and been like, what all these functions do? That's because Photoshop's not just designed for photographers. Okay, Luminar is built from the ground up as a software package for photographers. Throw in a Guru pick. Nope. Any more questions? RAW conversion. Yes, it handles RAW. It handles. I was using JPEG, to be honest, because it is a little bit faster, but it does handle RAW files as well. Anyone else got any more questions? All cameras? Yeah, all cameras. See, when a brand new product comes out, a brand new camera comes out, it does take a while for the manufacturers to send off all the files. But yeah, all cameras are supported by RAW. Can you apply settings to more than one picture? Yes, with the latest version, there is a batch processing tool. Obviously, this is something I guess will be developed further when the library module comes out. But yes, there's a batch processing tool. Next webinar is coming very soon. Date will be announced, but I would guess within the next month or so. Can you create your own presets? Yes, you can create your own presets. You can also download presets as well. Delighted with the presentation. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Ernest. Mac, Windows the same. Mac and Windows the same, not 100%. They're getting close. Originally, it was a Mac product. They've now transferred, I think, I was speaking to someone the other day, 98, 99% of the features to the Windows, but it's not. I mean, yes, they're both Mac or Windows, both very informative. Thanks a lot. Okay, any more questions before we call this a day? It works in wine. Good for wildlife photography. Yeah, I mean, you can throw all these specific genres at me. Give it a try. You can go and download a free trial version now and try for yourself. I'm no wildlife photographer, but I'm pretty sure that yeah, the standard processing tools that you get in Lightroom or whatever are included. No Linux support, no, not at the moment. I'm not sure if that's something they've planned or not. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Look forward to our next webinar. See you then. Bye.